And happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Project Talk. It is Sunday for everybody, right? No, I guess not. I was trying to do the time zone thing in my head and it didn't work out, but whatever. Welcome to Project Talk, your favorite Sunday afternoon or whatever day it is to you. 4:30 p.m. on the Eastern Seaboard. I am Glenn from Fun King 3D, and with me, of course, is always my brother from another mother, James from Print N Play.
That's me.
I'm tired. So as you guys can see, James did show up. He wasn't offended by me joking around that he was fired. What's really funny though is I was getting ready to go live. Like I was already up on the screen and I was looking for the countdown timer and and he popped in at like right on the mark.
Stuck right in. Yeah.
Yeah. So but James doesn't want me to tell you this, but I need you guys to go over and join his Patreon. He really needs some financial help so he can buy a new headset. That one's crap.
Nah, it's fine. It just when it connected today, it connected muted for some reason. So
yeah, he shows up and starts talking. I'm like, I can't hear you. Nothing like 2 weeks in a row with the same problem. There is David throwing down $19.99. All right, David. So here's a question for you, because of all of the changes. I mean, I know that you're still with Printed Solid, but you sold Printed Solid. So now I got to make you a banner where it's just David Randolph. I guess that wasn't a question. It was more of a me blabbing, and then I came up with my own answer. Thank you, David, for the $19.99. It's nice to see you back in the stream. You haven't been with us very much lately.
I thought that maybe Glenn did something to offend you.
Oh, he was out spending his billions of dollars that he got for selling Printed Solid. All right, David, calm down. Stop yelling at your monitor. I know. It's just a joke. Local Maker Michigan says, since I live 4 miles away from the US 131 dragway, I got to watch from Bailey and Steve. I got to watch Tom Bailey and Steve Morris run yesterday. Steve kicked a rod out of the 6. Steve throws a rod out of every engine that he runs. I mean, he builds some terrific engines, but it always seems like he has that problem. But that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. David said, I'm in the middle of fixing my house, and we caught him on a hydrate break. Well, you do got to stay hydrated. That's very important, mainly in this heat. I know that I complain about the heat here a lot, and I know that it's hot everywhere. So I am personally giving you all permission to complain about the heat where you are too.
So if we call a break for water in a hydration break, do we call water out a dehydration break?
Wait, say that again?
If we call a break where you're bringing water in a hydration break, do we call the one where you're letting water out the dehydration break?
I guess technically. Huh? I have to go dehydrate?
Yep. Makes sense to me.
All right, talk for a minute so that I can take a moment and create a banner for my friend David.
He put me on the spot. I actually had a project I was going to work on during the stream, and it relied on a thing called an HDMI to AV adapter. And I pulled out what I ordered from Amazon, and I ordered an AV to HDMI adapter. So it is literally the opposite of what I needed, and therefore the opposite of what is good. So my plan on what I was going to do today just kind of got pooped on. Is that a minute yet? Are you done?
No.
Come on, Bruce Banner. Hulk out.
I have to make sure I spell this right, because like if you make any typing errors, you can't fix these. You can't edit these. You have to just destroy them and do it again.
Well, don't goof.
Exactly.
Don't goof it up. I was walking around my backyard yesterday without shoes or sandals on. I stepped on a thistle bush, and I got most of it out, but every once in a while I stepped down on my foot, and it feels like I just stepped on it all over again, you know?
That's understandable. That's a pretty adventurous day. I
It
had
is.
my company summer barbecue yesterday. For those of you who don't know me very well, which I don't think is too many people in this world at this point, but
Yep.
I suffer from social anxiety disorder. I'm very introverted. Social gatherings give me an amount of anxiety that most people just wouldn't be able to personally handle. So going to these types of events are very difficult for me, but it was cool. I went. I found myself a nice faraway picnic table to sit at. Um, so it's a relatively small company that I work for, and like a lot of the people who work in the administrative side with me, I actually go to church with. So like I know them outside of work as well, but one in particular, and so I spent most of the day just kind of hanging out with him. So it was fine. But what was really cool about the picnic was my child got to do his first live DJing event. And now he's been doing DJing events. I call them virtual, but I guess it's not really technically virtually. He does them. He just does them on the internet in these what is that
VR
gaming place?
chats.
The rec
Yeah.
room nightclubs. So I'd never heard any of his work because it's played through the internet. I don't hear it out loud. He did a really fantastic job. There was two major downfalls. One of which was that the laptop that I gave him to do this with, because obviously he couldn't drag his desktop with, the laptop I gave him was too old, and the software was using the mix board software itself was using 70% of the CPU, and then Windows still needed some. So every once in a while there was a little glitch in there, and he didn't we didn't really know. We didn't ask ahead of time if he could do this. We just showed up and said, "Hey, he'd like to DJ," and they were like, "Yeah." So he didn't have enough music for the length of time that we were there. Now, again, being socially the way I am, I don't typically stay for very long. So it's usually show up, eat the food, and win a prize in the raffle and bug out. But so he did have to replay some of the stuff, but it was really, really well accepted. Everybody enjoyed it, so it was cool. So if you want to hire a DJ, my child is for hire. He's very expensive. All payments have to be made to me directly, and then I'll work out the logistics. No, he did good, so it was pretty awesome.
I just pictured. Did you ever watch the show Community?
No, I don't think so.
There's a character in the show that has amnesia, and he's DJing an event, and keeps explaining like, "Okay, everybody, remember, if you're dropping off a song title, be very specific. I have amnesia. I don't know any of these artists or these songs." So he opens one and it's like, "You suck, get off the stage." He's like, "Okay, is that the song title or the band name? I don't understand. Like I said, be specific," and throws it away. So I just picture that for Xander.
No, he had a great time. He stood. Okay, so I own a set of PV concert speakers that were generously donated to me back when we were doing the parades and stuff for the scouts, because I was tired of people not hearing what I wanted them to hear. So I have this major, like massive amplifier. In fact, we only turn it up to 1 and it goes all the way to 11. So I can't imagine how loud it really is.
Does it actually go to 11, or are you just making the joke?
No, it only goes to 10, but we really don't. We don't turn it past 1. It's so screamingly loud. And the speakers they're either 15s or 18s. I can't remember, but they're big. I mean, it's all professional grade stuff. And so the place where we have this picnic, they have a building with a little porch out on the front and a railing. And so we put the amplifier on the shelf of the rail, and then his DJ mixer on top of that, and it was the perfect height for him. And he stood there, other than sitting down to eat, he stood there from about 11:30 until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, just doing his thing with all them knobs and switches and buttons. So the only thing that I should have done different, I haven't ever really played with the adjustments on that amplifier. It could have used more bass, I guess.
You're all about that bass.
Well,
that bass.
definitely all about the bass and
No
no
treble?
treble. There's plenty of treble because the speakers are it's a horn and then a massive sub, a massive woofer.
I could go for a massive sub.
I should be able to get a lot more bass out of it. I just never set it up to be that way. So
if you're not rattling fillings, are you really playing for keeps?
well, and it was so loud. We walked down. It's probably 120 yards. So however many meters that is to the end of the dock. It's on a lake. This place is, and we walk all the way down, and then we walk out onto the dock. Zach and I did, and I could still hear the music perfectly. So when I got back, I said to Xander, I said, you could probably turn it down just a smidge. Because I'm sure they could hear it on the other side of the lake. Tony Ryan said, I loved that concert. You Suck opened for Get Off the Stage in 1988. Great show. So I'm exhausted today, though. Like, I mean, we were there for the few hours, and I came home, and I was completely wrecked. So, but I did show one of the two owners of the company is a car buff. And so if my truck had been done, I would have showed him the fact that I put a Cummins in a Ford, and he would have been so thrilled that that's all he talked about all day long. It was pretty awesome. Whew. Yeah, I was going to stream from the garage again today, and then I thought, nope, that's dumb.
How was viewership and stuff last week? Did people seem to like it?
How is what?
Viewership and stuff last week.
Well, we had 21 thumbs ups for last week,
which is 2 more than the Chris Riley stream, I do believe.
I will check to see what. I'm doing some research on that thing we were talking about earlier.
Which thing were we talking about earlier? I don't remember.
Right before the stream started.
I'm so out of it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I got it. That's what I thought.
Oh, okay, yeah. Do you know what's interesting?
What's that?
If you mouse over stream 48, like you get the live thumbnail.
Yeah.
It's us high-fiving. It's perfect.
Yeah. Oh, Mitch did ask earlier why the graphic was upside down. I did it just, I don't know, because I can. When you add the thumbnail to StreamYard, you can rotate it. So I just thought that was fun. But yeah, I still owe Gene some screen time as well for his donation last week for the hospital bill, which thankfully I didn't have to use. And I did proceed to hang the remainder of the drywall using that same method, and that worked out great. Uncle Ron reached out to me and said it was really fun watching the stream and seeing a tool that he has that I don't, which would be a drywall lift. And I said, oh, I had one of those. I hated that thing because, one, I hate drywall. And two, they suck to store. And I'm like, I got rid of that thing. So, but, so sometimes I don't have a tool for a reason.
Sometimes you are the tool.
Sometimes.
Oh, days ending in Y, as in like, why did I wake up this morning?
Oh. Yeah, I have been very unmotivated this week. It's not that I haven't done anything, but I haven't really done anything as far as the garage channel goes, doing projects. And I'm going to run out of material that I already have filmed. and I'm going to be in trouble. Now, I have projects. I always have projects. But I'm always like, some of the stuff that I do, I'm like, do people really want to see me do this? And I should film it anyway. Like, I should. And sometimes I don't, but did I tell everybody last week that I did find a motor for the Thunderbird? I don't know. I was so into, I know I told you, I was so into hanging drywall, but so I need to start digging that thing out and getting ready.
I forgot what I was going to say.
That comes with age.
Then
Chat's a little quiet today. What's up with everybody? So I do have a topic that I want to talk about today, and we can throw it out there now, and people can start, jawing away at it or whatever. But one of the big questions that I had for this week doing what I was doing in the garage was, and this applies everywhere, is small part storage. I struggle bad with small part storage. Whether it be like hardware, nuts, bolts, screws, that kind of stuff, but also like, I mean, when you're a maker, you have other small parts, whether you're into electronics and you have to store LEDs and transistors and IC chips. And if people use that stuff anymore and don't just slap, Raspberry Pis and Arduinos and everything because it's easy. So, I mean, if anybody has like that awesome award-winning solution for small part storage, I watched a Adam Savage video where he was organizing his electronics. And now, don't get me wrong, I love Adam. I love what Adam does. But what angers me about Adam is he'll just throw money at a problem. He's got those fancy storage boxes, and he's got like a gazillion of them. I can't afford that. I mean, I have some of those, but I have the cheap Harbor Freight ones.
It's the let them eat cake situation. People don't have storage. Well, then let them buy more. Oh, thank you. My garage is full. Buy another garage.
Buy another garage. Right. Just throw all that stuff away and buy new stuff.
Well, so you know about my acquisition from this week. I put it up on the Twitters. David Randolph's here, so he might appreciate seeing it. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay. I thought you were going to pop it up on the screen.
Oh, no, I was actually, it's like sitting right here. I was going to physically put it on the desk.
Oh, that's really fancy.
Yep. I do have all the stuff that I can hook something up to it, too. So give me a couple of seconds here.
Oh, that's fine.
Assuming David Randolph hasn't disappeared yet. It's been a little while since he said anything. Chat's just moving really slow.
Yes, he might have rehydrated and went back to working on the hacienda.
Go ahead and put this guy up here. And well, other than being tired and unmotivated, did you have a decent week?
We'll go with just to keep morale up.
What if we need less Al and not more Al?
So my day job,
which comes the best one in the world,
with its own set of challenges. I was given a project, like I was already into a project, and they're like, "Don't do that one, do this one." And it's an assisted living facility, and it's massive, and there is so much intricate detail the way this thing was designed. And of course, it has a short deadline, so I've been scrambling to get that done. And then there's stuff that I can't talk about as far as work. Like there's stuff going on in the company that's causing some waves right now. So things are a little turmoily, but otherwise, like I can't take my 12 o'clock naps anymore. I'm just kidding.
Can I take your 12 o'clock nap instead?
Oh, your audio's breaking up.
You're not using it anymore.
What's that?
You frozen. I frozen.
Your audio's breaking.
Okay, so it's me and not you.
Yeah, you sound like a robot.
I almost.
All right, everybody, right now, just go to patreon.com / See, if you guys, when you guys donate money here, I get it and I roll around in it. I don't send it to James. Like I don't share it with him because
The important thing is he promises to at some point.
yeah, I always tell him that I'm going to do something for him, and then what I do is give him the shaft. Let me rephrase that.
That costs extra.
He just straight gets shafted. No, wait. So, but I don't know. So talk now. See if it's better. Yeah, no, that's fake. I might have been born at night, but it wasn't last night.
Heyo.
Where is the receiver as far as where you are? Like how
It's
far
like
away?
3.5 feet from me.
Huh.
This thing's supposed to be good for like 25, and it's also not even really remotely obscured. So.
Wow. Mitch said, just get a laser cutter and cut 1/8-inch plywood into stackable bins. It's that easy. Well, I mean, being 3D printing people, I mean, we could just 3D print bins.
What if you 3D printed a laser cutter and then used it to
cut plywood?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, first of all, I mean, here's Mitch flaunting his wealth. Just get 1/8-inch plywood. Like, just go out and buy some plywood. I'm not even allowed to say plywood.
Here's my
holy crap, lumber's expensive. That is absolutely like the pinnacle of retro television set.
I've spent the past couple of months looking for a TV set that I felt encompassed the 80s. And the funny thing is, can I show you something real quick? Well, of course I can. That's what the stream's about.
No, don't show us anything. This is a podcast.
So I lost a piece off of here. The camera, but that's okay. If you look at the TV that I modeled for the mini Nintendo project.
There. Oh, that's so funny.
Right? It did have a second dial. No, it fell off. To prove that it fell off, and I'm not just being like, no, they're basically the same thing. There's the spot where the second dial goes.
No, it still only has one knob. Oh.
So the only real difference is I put the power button up here instead of down there, but the speaker and this in the render was actually silver, and I was like, I can't figure out how, because I wanted the interior to be black. But
Tony Ryan said, when I was a kid, we had to walk through 10 feet of shag carpet to change the channel.
Oh, Tony Ryan just figured it out. I put the receiver in a Faraday cage to protect against the 5G Covens.
Yeah, no, that TV is now what I want you to do is I want you to put that top knob straight up and down. I want you to put it on the UHF setting. And then the bottom knob, I want you to turn it until you get Mr. Rogers. Because that's what I remember doing when I was a kid. I had a 13-inch Sears black and white TV. And the main thing that I remember about that TV is that it was stamped no user serviceable parts inside. It said solid state, no user serviceable parts inside. And as a kid, I had no idea what that meant. And then I took it on as a challenge to make sure that when I grew up, it didn't matter. Those parts were still serviceable to me.
Yep.
Teach you, Sears.
They didn't live to see your revenge.
Well, they did. That revenge was some time back, but
I also have the more rare top loader Nintendo Entertainment System after they ditched the toaster idea and wanted to make a cheaper Nintendo.
Okay, yeah.
It you know how the other one flashes gray and you blow in the cartridge and then it works?
Right.
This one doesn't have that problem because they removed the copyright protection system from it, because that's what actually caused all the issue. or the majority of the issues was the fact that the system needed to communicate with a lockout chip on it before you could boot a game off of it.
Okay.
And because of the way they designed the slot, it would lose contact with it. And if it didn't keep perfect contact, it started giving you that flashing gray screen. So, got a limbo.
So Mitch, let's say I did get a laser cutter. I mean, I do have a laser cutter, and I got some 1/8-inch plywood, and I lasered out a whole bunch of bins. Or even if out of acrylic. Acrylic's probably cheaper than plywood at this point. The question still then is, what do you do with the bins? Do you just have hundreds of bins sitting around? And you got to make some kind of a rack, right? You got to put them on a rack. But then what if your needs change? So then you got to make the rack to hold different size bins, because maybe some items are larger than other items. You see, these are the questions that keep me up at night, and this is why I haven't come up with the perfect solution for any of this yet. So Mitch said, now I live a few miles from a White Castle. It's very dangerous.
Oh. I must be playing around just at the edge of the range for this, because like I moved to certain areas in the basement and it starts going robotic again.
Yeah, you just need a better headset.
And if people go to my page, I do have a better one upstairs, but I had because like the issues I was having with this one wouldn't have stopped me from using it for streaming. So I had bought a new one for work and thought, oh, I could delegate this one to print it downstairs status.
Well, I mean, even right now we're getting a little bit of a, I don't, not static, but almost a little bit robotic once in a while.
Oh, it's because I'm a robot.
Glenn likes racks. Dude, that's a t-shirt. I want that on a t-shirt.
Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this?
Oh.
Just make sure it doesn't play sound, please.
I turned the volume all the way down already.
Okay.
Look at that beauty.
Wow, what a perfectly clear picture. It almost looks high definition.
I think you'd have to be high definition to think that.
Mitch said, sorry, I'm on a delay. That's all right, Mitch. We'll just have this conversation over the period of the 2 hours. The racks you build, you just build a CNC machine to build the racks out of plywood. But then where do I store all of the bits for the CNC machine? Tony Ryan said, there's your problem. You're thinking that there is a perfect solution, sort of like my quest for the perfect street/off-road motorcycle. Well, and again, I mean, if you guys, I don't know if you tune into, it's not tested. Adam Savage does YouTube videos from inside his workshop. And, which, I mean, looking at his workshop kind of gives me anxiety because of how much stuff he has packed into a relatively small area. But he also does different things than I do. So, like, I have to have space. He doesn't necessarily have to have big open space. But his level of organization is pretty amazing. I mean, the way that he's got things cataloged, and he works from a premise of, now I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but like this week, this month, this year. So, for example, sandpaper. This is the sandpaper I'm going to need this week. Like this would be the sandpaper I use the most. That would be this week. Then I might have a frequent but not super frequent use for this level of sandpaper. And then once in a blue moon, I have this. So that's his week, month, year thing. And I don't store stuff that way. Like, to me, Well, you guys have seen my garage. To me, everything just gets piled. But no, honestly, like, I mean, there is a method to my madness. But to me, like, all sandpaper has to be together. It's sandpaper. It has to be here. All plexiglass has to be together. All screwdrivers have to be together. All, and he doesn't. He does certain things like I use. Okay, I use these flush cutters every day. They need to be right here with this screwdriver, with this pair of scissors, with this pencil, with this, whatever. Um, and I do a little bit of that. I mean, I typically keep, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's and this is probably the set off the Prusa, but I keep a set of these flush cutters on every printer because it's where I use them the most. So I do a little bit of that. But to me, all things have to kind of be, all things that are the same need to be put together. So that if I'm looking for a screwdriver, I go to where the screwdrivers are, and then there's all the screwdrivers. Does that make sense? Apparently we lost James again.
No, made sense to me.
Oh.
I was just plugging in because I don't know how charged the headset is. I was like, well, if I can get away with having it plugged in and charging while we're chatting.
Yeah, if the battery was just weak, that would explain some of the weird issues.
Could
if it
explain
needed a new battery, so just head over to James's Patreon. Yeah. Mitch said, just build another garage. Well, it's funny you should mention that. But that still honestly doesn't fix it. I mean, I know that's kind of, tongue-in-cheeky, jokey, but even then that doesn't fix the problem, because obviously it's not, my problem is not space.
The Final Frontier?
No. Area. Quantity of area. So, and I'm not even specifically talking about the garage. I mean, that's where this problem is rearing its head the most. But I mean, even upstairs where this space used to be, this space, even here, I run into a lot of issues where, like, I have this drawer unit behind me, this that you almost can't see because it's black. It's from IKEA. I love it. They're excessively expensive for what they are, but so, like, the top drawer is all of my tools, screwdrivers and that kind of stuff. And then the next drawer down is all of, like, my microphones and stuff. I have a drawer in there with all my crimp terminals. But it's like the small pieces are the problem. Now, I did a video. Back when I actually made videos, I did a video sometime back about 3D printed
organizers for your drawers. I remember that video.
Specifically for my welding cart. Trying to
I remember that one. It's the one I was thinking
of. Yeah, somebody left me a comment just recently on that video asking me how much it cost per container. Like, they were challenging me, like, oh, you could just go out and buy them. But I said to that video, don't go watch it now because you need to watch this.
Yeah.
But
this is more important.
Yeah. Those little organizers have been just a super blessing, because with a welder, there's so many little trinkety parts, the nozzles and the tips and all these little parts. So that worked out great. And then the fact that I could print those to be exactly the size of that drawer. Plus, if I decided, like, oh, I need it to be longer, I could print one that's a double or a triple or whatever to take up that space. So that would be just brilliant. Yeah, they had asked. Sorry, I went back to that comment, and they were like, "How much did it cost?" I'm like, "It had to have been pennies, And chances are I didn't even pay for that filament, so it was even cheaper than that. I didn't say that, of course, but hey, look at me! I'm glad I get free stuff. I just seen local maker Michigan said tackle boxes work good for storing smalls. True, and I actually like upstairs in the old studio space, and not even really in the studio space, but in my little hole where my big desk is, where I do my electronic work and stuff. I ended up with a Harbor Freight tool cart that was back when I was working at Harbor Freight. It was a return. And when the guy returned it, it didn't have the legs and stuff. All the leg pieces were missing. And so what I did was I ended up drilling holes in the bottom of it, mounting casters to it, so it slides underneath my desk, and it works out great. It's little drawers, but even then, to go inside of that, you need something. Now and I can't remember the name of the ones that. Can I just call him Adam, and you guys know who I'm talking about? Do I actually have to say Adam Savage every time?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Adam and Eve.
But Harbor Freight makes a pretty decent, and I should have had one in here. I did consider bringing a couple of different things that I have and use, but I forgot. But they're like I'm going to call it a suitcase. It's a box. It's got a clear lid on top of it. And in fact, I punched in, I didn't even spell it right. I put storage instead of storage, and it's absolutely the first thing that comes up on Harbor Freight. Let me throw this over here. I'm going to do a quickie screen share. Share screen. Bam. Now don't look at my pricing, because I get special pricing from Harbor Freight. These are not the same prices you'll get if you go there. That's also a lie. It's just their website. So they have a couple different ones of these. They're physically the same size, but you can like the bins inside of them are different. Like overall, physically, I think that one of them is thicker, so it's like taller, but overall same size. So I wait for these to go on sale. I mean, you see that one's $10. It's pretty good deal. The good ones that Adam uses, they're like over $100 a piece. Yeah, they're a little more rigid. Chances are, if you drop them and the lid is snapped shut, nothing's going anywhere. This one, you drop it, it'll probably blow open and your parts will go everywhere. But you need somewhere to store all of that. And then you're going to run into stuff that doesn't fit in there. So like, let's go to nuts and bolt storage. Those would be terrible for storing nuts and bolts. They'd be so heavy you wouldn't be able to carry them. So Tony Ryan said, I like to have all the resistors and capacitors in my old Radio Shack trays, but all the other tiny parts are in those little poly drawers in a rack mounted to the wall. I hate those little, if it's the drawers that I'm thinking of, you know, like the storehouses thing that you buy that's got the little pull out. I hate those things. I have some. I have probably 10 different, all different. None of them match each other. And they were just given to me through the years, usually already full of crap that I'll never use. Thank you to those people who gave them to me, but even if you went out and bought 100 of those that matched, what a pain in the butt those things are. And then, like, when they get overly heavy, they begin to sag. The little shelves begin to sag, and then the drawers don't open and close right. And you know, I guess for electronic components, it wouldn't be so bad because they're not really heavy. But when do you only store electronic components? I mean, even if you filled that thing up with computer screws. I mean, I have that storage unit. I've showed it on here before. It's upstairs, and those ones, like, it's a wall mountable, but those just tip out. Like, it's a little cup that tips out, which that works. But those little cups, that thing's heavy. Alan King said, I have some Bisley coated steel multi-drawers for small stuff. Now I got to go Google that because I want to see what I'm dealing with. Because, like, all right, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Garage Journal, the forums over at Garage Journal. It's pretty much a bunch of tool snobs hanging out. Okay, Bisley, yeah, Bisley file cabinet type. Yeah. So I've seen people where they use like old card catalogs from libraries, which are not easy to get hold of, and now they're very sought after. People like to have them in their house for decoration and stuff because they're beautiful. They're beautiful wood drawers and stuff. But and then Lista, which I think is owned by Stanley now, Stanley Black & Decker, but they make some beautiful metal drawer sets. But I mean, I would have to sell my house to be able to buy them, and then that would defeat the purpose. Local Maker Michigan said, I can pick up parts for $90 difference. Exactly. You could just throw all your hardware away and buy new hardware when you needed it for the $90 difference.
Especially when it comes to like Arduino stuff, and it's like I can get a 300 pack of jumper cables for like $10.
Yeah.
If it costs me more than that to store them, it's not worth it.
It costs you $100 to store them or $10 just to buy new ones every time. You just recycle the old ones for the tiny, tiny bit of copper that's in them. Yeah. So I don't know. This was just kind of a battle that I was playing with this week, because as you guys know, I am on a quest to absolutely get that garage in order, and I've made some headroom.
Are you talking about the Fun King garage?
The Fun King garage. I wish it was easier just to go winging a camera out there.
I mean, it worked out okay last week.
Oh no, that was a huge production last week.
Yeah, but it worked out.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, so I could just like take you out there right now and say, like, this is what I'm talking about.
Oh, you need like a wireless camera and a wireless mic on at all times.
Yeah, well, I have a wireless mic that'll go through the whole entire garage.
You have a wireless camera. It's called your cell phone. You can just join it as a third caller.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Then somebody might get my phone number.
I don't think so. How?
Oh, it doesn't work that way?
They're gonna hack you via your IP.
Well, the IP of that would be the same as the IP for everything else.
IP, UP, we all pee.
Alan King said, I missed the drywall episode live, but watched it later. Okay, so okay. I was gonna say, so what'd you think about it? But he said, I enjoyed it. So I don't mind doing those streams, like, once in a while when I have a project like that. I have absolutely no problem setting up out there and doing those. Mainly if James is on board, because obviously I can't see the chat. I do have a fairly large television out there. I want to say it's like a 39-inch up on the bench. I'm sure you guys seen it during the tour video, but it's what I use for like I use it for like wiring diagrams and stuff, so I can turn and look and reference it without having to print anything out. I hate printing stuff out. But yeah, if I have little projects to work on, I absolutely have no problem doing the streams like that. It was hot. It was
You're pretty much always welcome to do that.
It was definitely warm out there. Oh, so here's a fun little nugget. So I told you guys that I had the big garage door down because I have a couple of neighbors that like to just show up, and they, even if I'm in the middle of filming, like, they will see me standing there talking to the camera and they'll just walk up to me like we're out in the mall. Like, it's weird. Or they'll holler stuff, honk their horn when they go by. I have one specific neighbor that's a little bit of, how do I put this nicely? Not the purest at heart, I guess, is a good way to go. and fights with her parents a lot. Like, she's a grown adult, but she's got some issues. She's got some chemical imbalance. And so she will be leaving their house, ripping down the road and yelling curse words out of the car. And I've got that on film or on video. But so last week I told you guys I had the door down because of that, and put up an on-air sign. They would just honk more. I think they do it. I think they do it on purpose so that like they can watch my video and be like, "That was me honking." Yeah,
I'm famous on YouTube now.
I made it in the video, guys.
Uh,
But so we got off the air approximately 6:30, right? I mean, we were
Yeah.
pretty much on time. And that's normal for Florida. That's kind of true. Hey, Paul. So it couldn't have been 15 minutes after we were done and I had torn down and gone in to eat that somebody left a car in my driveway. So first of all, if you know somebody in your neighborhood who does mechanical work, don't drop your car off in their yard and expect them to fix it.
That's not okay.
That's not really what happened. It was a friend of mine, but but it was like right after the stream because I got a text later, and no, it was actually the next morning. It was Monday morning. I got a text, and he said, "Oh, you probably know this already, but we left the car out in the driveway." And I'm like, "No, I didn't know," but it wasn't there when I cracked the door open to get air in. So and then like we were talking the other day, and it turned out it was like 15 minutes after we were done. I said, if you would have shown up even slightly earlier, I would have been live on YouTube. See, that's why I didn't want to open the door. So,
Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur.
That's right. Hey, so I don't know. Did you see that I asked that question about singing on stream?
I did not see that.
Okay, so I follow TubeBuddy. If you're a YouTuber and you don't use TubeBuddy, you're really missing out. And if you're a YouTuber and want to use TubeBuddy,
Use my code so I can get some monies.
use my affiliate link. No, but seriously, reach out to me because I have not necessarily a way, but I have some tips for you on getting a really great deal. It doesn't even benefit me, but I actually have a pro account both for 3D and Garage. That's how much I believe in TubeBuddy. But so I follow them on Twitter and stuff, and like they do these different things. Well, I guess they were having a stream with somebody who either works for or used to work for YouTube, and they said, like, do you have any questions that you want answered by somebody, from the inside, whatever. And so the question that I put in there was, if you sing a line or two from a song, can you be demonetized? So somebody else in the group said, like, hey, I don't know, like, if you want it to be answered by them, but just so you know, yes, you can, depending on how much it sounds like the original. And so then I
we're
wrote
so
back,
safe then.
Yeah, I wrote back and I said, oh, well, then I'm plenty fine because I suck at singing.
It's funny because it's true. Me too,
What if
though.
I want to play Walk Like an Egyptian on my harmonica while streaming? Is that okay? No, that would probably tag you instantly. Instantly. My church has problems where their live stream has been dumped because of the worship music, but yet the church has license for that music.
And also, if the song is more than like 100 years old, then.
Oh, no, I don't go to that kind of church. Holy crap. We're in there singing like rock and roll and stuff.
Oh, rock
We
and roll
got like a whole
McDonald's?
band. We don't have an organ. But no, I just thought that was funny. I didn't even know where we were going. I'm just squirrel.
Shiny object.
I just thought it was kind of funny because here I was all like live.
From New York?
We were out there live, and I was telling you guys that I didn't want to open the door because people would just randomly show up, and
Somebody
15
randomly showed up.
Showed up, yeah. So, but no, I'll tell you, I have at one point opened my garage door on a Saturday morning, and there was an unknown car parked in my driveway. I don't know. I'm sure by my videos, you guys have kind of figured out that this building, so my property is a big rectangle, and my house faces the main road out there, and then my garage faces the side road out here. And so, which is why I want security cameras, and they're actually coming very soon. I'm kind of investigating what I want to buy.
No, tell everybody that you already have them. You're doing
What's
this
that?
wrong. You gotta tell everybody you already have them. You're doing this wrong.
Well, I have the satellite footage that I watch live.
Right.
Everybody gets that, right?
Hmm.
Or is it just me?
That's only the people that get the discount at Harbor Freight that also get access to the.
That's right. Well, I'm part of the Inside Track Club. I'm an Inside Track Club member. So, but no, I opened my garage door one day, and there was a car in my driveway, and so I kind of scoped it out, and it was locked. And of course, the first thing I do is look underneath it to see if it's spewing anything all over my driveway. But like it was just sitting there. And like I couldn't see any identifying marks. It had a license plate on it. I'm not fancy. I don't have some license plate software where I can, run your plate and find out who you are.
As far as anybody knows.
Right. Not that I would admit publicly on the internet. So I waited a few hours. And then I ended up just calling the sheriff's department, and they called a tow service, and they came and took it away. And to this day, I don't know who it belonged to. I'm like, I got a car in my garage that I need to get out. And like, I was going to just jack it up and put it on dollies and roll it down towards the, to the end, into the driveway or into the road. But I didn't want to mess with it. I didn't want the liability of that. And who knows what's in that car?
The person that dropped it off. I figured it out.
They might not even know. But the sheriff's office was nice enough to take care of calling the tow truck and stuff. So, yeah. Duff said laser sharks? Yes, sharks with laser beams. Freaking laser beams on their heads. Tony Ryan said, you can get hit even if the music is 100 years old. I used Flight of the Bumblebee.
Okay, so
time-lapse videos. It got copyright strike by the performing artist. Yeah, but is it... That makes sense. If somebody else remade that music, they can't get hit because it's 100 years old, but you have to have permission by the artist who made it.
I don't know how that factors in, because I don't think you can be like, okay, well, now that this is out of copyright, I'm going to perform it. I'm going to copyright my version of it.
Well, it's not really copywriting it, but you own that version.
Right, but you're performing it. You're taking like a free art and then making a version of it so you can make money off of it.
We'll have to investigate that.
Yes.
I don't understand. I don't understand, why is this such a mystery? And then what really kills me, let's get onto social media. Let's we need like a transition screen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the social media segment of the show. I don't understand why it is that you can go on Instagram and like they have tons of music to use that's like current stuff. Okay. So I'm sure that they license it. But yet Instagram, that's owned by the same trash heap that owns Facebook.
The meta argument, got it.
You can't, like, you get hit with copyright strikes on Facebook. It's like, why wouldn't they have the same? It's the same company. It's just weird. And then YouTube. I was uploading a video to YouTube a couple of weeks ago, and I was I had a song stuck in my head, and I got copyright struck because the song was stuck in my head while I was uploading. It wasn't even in the video. Okay, that's not true, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like,
I would have believed it though.
it's really that bad. I mean, and then I think I've been hit, I think 4 times total. Twice on Garage and twice on 3D. One time on 3D, it was legit. I used a song that I thought I bought the rights to use it, but I misread
It was
the
non-commercial,
license.
right?
Huh?
You had it, but you could only use it for non-commercial. Is that what it was?
Well, technically, I bought the song. Like I bought it, like buying music through iTunes. But I read the licensing, and I thought that the licensing gave me what is it? Creative Commons use.
But it only gave you uncommon use.
Yeah. So I got hit. I tried to fight it. They said nope. And so at that point, they got to take the money away from that episode of Xander's Thing Thursday. But it was the perfect song for what we did. So it was fine. I let it be.
There are times where, as long as I knew, because like, so like there's the copyright, like where they come and they claim the money from it,
Right.
and that doesn't damage your channel at all. You just
No.
don't get the money from that.
Right.
And then there's the copyright strike, where if you get 3 of them in a certain amount of time, your channel gets permanently shut down.
Yeah, they delete your channel.
Yeah. So if there was a way, like there's lots of times where I would gladly, if I could use a song that I thought fit really well, I would gladly like use that song and forgo the rights from the video, because I would rather have it be the good video than whatever. But there's no way to know for sure how they're going to react to it. And also they can hit you with a copyright claim, and then a year from now go like, actually, you know what? We want to strike it.
Right, exactly. After they've sucked the money, like all of a sudden your video stops making money, and then they come back and whale
Like,
you
yeah,
again.
We don't want to attach to a failing channel. So
Right.
I know that one guy, he had like his theme song or his like intro video had a copyrighted song in it, and they kept like, he wasn't making money, and they kept copyrighted claiming it, and he had 127 videos he'd put out, and then one day they decided to change it to strike, and all 127 in one shot got stricken. So then you have like 30 days to fight or whatever, and he was able to like edit them and take it out before his channel got deleted. But that doesn't always happen either, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
But yeah, the 2 that I got hit with on the Garage was actually the same song, and the copyright, again, not a strike. I forget what they copyright claim.
Yeah.
Was by this company, and the song that they claimed it to be didn't sound anything even like the song that they were saying was theirs. But it was a song from Audio Hero, which I have a license for, and they stepped in and took care of it. Like, they got it all resolved for me.
But that's why you pay for that service.
Right. It was pretty awesome. So, but after the second time, that was back when Sean was editing my stuff, and I said, delete that song off the hard drive. Don't use that song anymore. I'm not going through this every time I upload a video.
Yeah.
So,
especially since when you initially upload it, like the first views, like you're gonna have the rush of views at the beginning. Yeah. So you don't want to be dealing with you lose like 90% of the revenue from a video.
Oh no, it happens when you upload.
Oh, okay.
Right during the upload, they're like, nope. Copyright claim. It's thundering like crazy outside right now. It's gonna storm.
Thunder? Feel the thunder?
Oh, there's my mom. I was just thinking, well, my mom didn't come in. She must have we must have bored her bad last week. I didn't die. The drywall didn't kill me, Mom. I've talked to her since then, but the other thing about social media, I don't know, have you guys been on Twitter today? There's a lot of drama going on Twitter today.
Oh, that's every day. It's called Twitter. I
think Twitter needs a mute for 30-day button like Facebook has.
Yeah, I like being able.
Hey, you're breaking up.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Am I still breaking up?
Nope, now you sound all right.
I certainly have friends that I don't share political and social views with, but definitely periods in my life where I'd like to be like,
no, we're losing you. Your audio's breaking up. We're only getting every few words. I think what James was saying is like he likes his friends, but once in a while they won't shut up. My thought on the whole situation is his voice sounds like the static on the TV. My thought on the situation is if I go out and I buy me a bright shiny new basket for the front of my bicycle and I'm excited about it. I mean, there's a lot of times that things happen in life that you're excited about. And I buy this bright shiny new basket and say my Twitter is based like 97% around 3D printing. And then for weeks, all I do is go on about this basket on my bicycle. People don't want to see that. I mean, if that's the case, create a new Twitter for bicycle baskets and go and hang out with bicycle basket people.
Go to bicyclebasket.com/bicycle baskets and leave me out of it.
So just, I mean, it's human nature. You get excited about something, you want to talk about something, but if you've built your entire persona around something and then you move on to something else, and it's like I almost feel guilty either muting people or unfollowing them or no, I don't feel guilty blocking people. At the point that I push that block button, there's a reason for it. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely tried, like, when people get on tangents, the whole political tangent, whether it's something I agree with or don't agree with, I don't want that in my feed. Like, I don't want to see that. So there's been a lot of times that I've muted people that just wouldn't stop with the political stuff. And again, even if it's stuff that I believe in. So, but yeah, so that's my gripe about Twitter. I would just like a mute for 30 days. And I would love it even more if you could mute somebody for 30 days and it would notify them that they've been muted by so-and-so for 30 days so that they could be like, oh, maybe I should shut up for a while.
I think that's just going to lead to hurt feelings and not adjustments to behavior. In fact, it would probably lead to more flame wars about, hey, here's the top 10 reasons I hate Glenn from Fun King 3D. His stupid face.
Tony Ryan said, my channel is random crap I feel like making a video about.
That's what you should name the channel.
That would be a good channel name.
Random crap
I feel like making a video about.
I feel like making a video about. There we go.
Yeah. Well, see, and I'm having a really hard time. I've never been an Instagram user. But
I thought you were going to say model. I've never been an Instagram model.
Well, no, I have been an Instagram model in my younger days. No, I'm an Instagram hair model. No, like I've never really used Instagram.
Yeah, you're the before, right?
I'd like to thank Keeps for sponsoring this video.
I checked my Twitter. It's like you've been muted for 30 days by Fun King 3D.
Whew. But what I hate about Instagram is that there is no like dislike option. So stuff shows up in your feed and you can't be like, I don't want to see that. They're like, too bad. We want you to see it and you're going to see it.
So hope you enjoy it. Just kidding. We don't care.
I'm a very happily married man. I don't want my Instagram feed full of things that aren't appropriate for a married man. Like I don't want
you're not looking to enlarge anything? What's
that?
You're not looking to enlarge anything?
Well, it's not even so much of that, but it's, just like the women,
Yep.
Not necessarily appropriately dressed, this kind of stuff. And, here I have two boys in my house that see me, scrolling Instagram, and there's all these women going by on my Instagram, and I have to explain to them, listen, I don't put them in there. I'm not following them. This isn't what I look at Instagram for. Just for whatever reason, the automotive community seems to go to Instagram, mainly, I guess, because it's picture based and people love to show pictures of their cars. So that's very, very tough. And I don't know, maybe there are ways, and if anybody knows, I'd love to know if there's ways to control what comes down my feed. So what I've been doing is I make it a point that anytime anything automotive comes up, I make sure I click in on that.
So you're trying to make sure it's like pointed to that as much as possible.
Yeah, even if it's not something that I definitely want to see, like, or
it's better than the alternative.
If the feed itself is like, I could see that picture and be like, oh, that's cool. No, I click in on it to kind of train the algorithm that this is what I'm looking for. I'm working very hard to have my feed only full of automotive and cute cats. That's all I want in my Instagram feed. So Mitch 3D says, it's what I look at Instagram, but for 3D printing stuff happens to show up. Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a second too. And then he says Snapchat's the worst for this. I don't even have a Snapchat. I refuse. And TikTok is completely blocked from my house. I'm sorry. TikTok is it's a virus. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It is. If you like TikTok, good on you, but you shouldn't be using it. We're going to find out in the very near future that it's all a bad deal. What was I going to say? I have to look back. Oh, so I have 2 Twitter accounts. This might come as a shock to you guys. Actually, I have probably 4, but I have Fun King 3D on Twitter, and I have Fun King Garage on Twitter. Now, I know what you're thinking, but it really is me on both of them. It's just me. So when I set up, my mom says TikTok's stupid. Oh, it's horrible. It is absolutely just. It's a disease. That's what I was looking for. It's a disease. But when I set up my Twitter for the garage, which there's not a very heavy automotive community on Twitter that I've found anyway, but a lot of you followed me on the new Twitter, which I appreciate. But now my automotive Twitter, like, I get all of these recommendations to follow 3D printing people.
Yeah, that's been happening for me too.
And I'm like, no, ignore that person. Ignore that person. Ignore that person.
Go away. They can read what I want. I don't want to read what they want.
Mitch said TikTok is only part of the problem. There's really good content on there, but it's mixed. No. I mean, there might be some okay content on there, but there is so much garbage on there. I mean, no, that's why I blocked it from my house. I'm sorry. Any social media that is 90% based around these challenges, no.
Are they still doing lots of challenges on TikTok?
Oh my God, there's always the challenges. Have you not seen the what's this? What's the tortilla challenge?
I have not seen the tortilla challenge.
You have to look up. I'm not even going to tell you. You have to look up The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And is it Kevin Hart? I think it's Kevin Hart doing the tortilla challenge.
Okay.
That's some funny stuff. I mean, the tortilla challenge itself is stupid. So what it is each person takes a sip of water into their mouth. They fill their mouth with water, but you don't swallow it. And you rock, paper, scissors. Sandra said, yeah, it's Kevin Hart. You rock, paper, scissors.
I think I know what it is now, though.
And then the winner slaps the other one with a tortilla across the face.
Okay, so why don't you like TikTok?
For so many reasons. I don't even know if that actually started on TikTok, but I seen that come across my I think it was on my Facebook feed, and I thought, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
How many times did you watch it, though?
No, Kevin Hart and Dwayne Rock Johnson doing it.
That makes it okay.
I mean, first of all, those two standing next to each other is funny in itself. But
there's a bit of a height discrepancy. I will give you that. Oh my
gosh, yeah. So
This VCR that I've got probably hasn't been plugged in 10 years. I plugged in I had a DVD recorder because I need something to go from RF to AV. And the cheapest way to do that is if you already have something that does it.
Right.
And I bought that DVD recorder at Value Village, which is like a thrift shop here.
A Goodwill, yeah.
Yeah. But I think the RF out on it was broken because as I was looking at the board's like bent. So let's see if this works.
I used to have a VCR with an HDMI out on it.
That looks like it works to me. The color doesn't look right though. I thought the screen was blue.
Looks very purpley.
There we go.
I
think.
All right, so that can bring to end the social media portion of the show.
I don't have a VHF to connect to this now.
You don't have a VHF.
Sorry, I don't have a VHS tape to stick into this. I got mixed up. I was halfway through a thought when I started having another one. I don't know if that ever happens to you.
I have a VHS tape here if you'd like it. It's actually it's an erection manual.
Oh, for
building a steel building.
I was gonna say for building your garage. I bet. I actually immediately knew what it was going to be.
The building came with an erection manual and a erection video. Just for that reason, I can't throw them away. So
now I can try and tune this as well as possible on this blue screen, because people don't know the struggles anymore, you know. Oh,
Mitch 3D said car guys are old enough to still have VVS. I'm sure that's not really necessarily true. Not all car guys are old guys.
I like how the refresh on this is like. Do you see this line? This line is obviously not here in person.
Right.
It's just stuck in the middle of a refresh. There we go. The cat came back the very next day.
For those who don't do TikTok, let me plug James. And Mitch, put up your TikTok.
I mean,
is that an actual, like, legit?
Yeah.
It's got an @ symbol in the URL.
Oh, I don't know. Sorry, I thought you meant like, do I really have a TikTok account?
Oh, no. I'm sure you have a TikTok. You probably do all those dance challenges.
Yeah, but never on video. That's just for me. That's James time.
Oh, I gotta see if I can find this picture. You know, I love to embarrass my children.
You have children?
Yeah, 1 or 2.
I keep having to. So I brought over. I was like, oh, I'll grab something that's relatively safe, something that I know, because like I was trying to get a DVD playing. I grabbed my Revenge of the Nerds DVD because I'm like, I mean, there's some gross out humor, but it's not too bad. And then I realized it's the Revenge of the Nerds Panty Raid edition, and the cover of the thing probably isn't quite safe enough for your channel.
No.
It's not terrible because it was obviously on the store shelf, but
I mean, just you saying Panty Raid isn't really.
You're bothered by it?
It's not really family friendly.
You're not really family friendly. What do you think of that?
Let's see. Sort by date modified. All right, I gotta find these pictures because I was playing with the filter on Instagram. There's so many good ones. These are not in the right order. These are not in the order I asked you for. Stupid computer.
I think the brightness dial on this thing needs a good cleaning. Because it does.
Where are the pictures? Oh, yeah, it's got to be here because here's Xander doing his DJing yesterday.
Okay, boys, I have to leave. Have fun, says Judy Shelton.
Oh, sure. Right when I'm getting ready to show pictures of your grandchildren, you take off. I see how it is.
Can't blame her. I'd take off, but I'm part of the show.
I wonder if that put. Oh, I bet it did, because those were screen grabs. Oh, I'm gonna have to look at them first just to make sure there's no personal information in them. Oh, I know how I can do it though. I know I can do it. I'm a tech guy. I can figure stuff like this out.
DVD probably wouldn't get us because I'd leave the sound turned off. Also, it's on a CRT, so you're not gonna be able to make out anything that's going on anyway.
Well, see, that's another thing. Looping back around to that, because a lot of times, like some of the videos that I watch, like somebody will say something or they'll make a movie quote and then they'll edit in a clip of the video, and it might be just a couple of seconds, but technically that's copyright infringement too.
There is fair use, and fair use is complicated. Some people say it depends on the length of the clip. Some people say, like, it
Which
has to be
I looked into
transformed.
that. It does
That's
not.
not.
It does not have anything to do with how long the
Yeah,
clip
I
is.
think the length of the clip thing started because the system needed to have a certain amount of data to be able to lock onto it and confirm that, like, yes, A equals equal to B.
Yeah, so it's not that it's acceptable. It's just that the system can't pick it up if it's a certain.
It's like you're just abusing the fact that the system can't figure out what's going on. But if it's transformative, meaning that you change it enough that it couldn't be mistaken for or used for analysis or critique. So most of the stuff you're talking about doesn't fall under that, though. Yeah. It's like people just take a moment of a video for emphasis of a moment or whatever.
All right, here we go.
Mamma mia.
Tell me that's not amazing.
It's pretty well done.
And he was so excited. He's like, "Oh, mustache."
Wasn't he really big into fake mustaches there for a bit?
Oh, yeah. He was putting tape on his face so that he would look like he had a mustache.
Mustache Sally. Ooh.
Here, and then we'll do this one. I go over to take his picture, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I just need to take your picture." And he's like, What are you doing?"
You torture your children, which I approve of.
Oh God, I absolutely torture my children. And then this one is, oh nope, that's not it. This one is my absolute favorite. I can't believe it worked. There you go.
I can't see the screen at the moment, so you'll have to wait until I get back.
Mitch said he's more hipster than normal.
He's more hipster than Doofus?
How far away from the computer did you go?
I'm on my way to your place. I was just going to see it in person.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
If I ever go to visit you, I mean, I will eventually go to visit you, but we should take a picture of my background and everything so that we can set up there. And it's like, oh, I'm coming from the basement or whatever, and then I'll walk off screen and I'll walk up onto your screen. Nobody will see it coming.
Great. Now you told everybody.
Yeah, but still nobody will see it coming because we won't talk about it beforehand. That's the key thing.
Everybody will forget.
There's only probably 5 people watching right now anyways. That's a very good mustached cat.
17 people are watching. Yeah, I can't believe that it actually worked on a cat. And it put it in the right spot. Like,
and even angled and everything properly.
Yep. And
Not
she was
bad.
like, she kept saying to me, what are you doing? What are you doing?
She's like, I need a picture for my TikTok.
She's my favorite. She's my favorite of the 3.
Rightfully so.
Bring. Oh, my back is killing me. I gotta get back on the turmeric. Since I stopped taking that Osteo Biflex, all my joints hurt again. And The height of technology, no doubt. And what a great use for it too, right?
That was there was a Jimmy Kimmel skit where they brought Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox out dressed up as Doc and Marty, and Doc's trying to figure out what happened with the timeline, how they don't have hoverboards and stuff, and then they show him, oh, but I got a cell phone and it's got, and he's like, oh, this is a hand-based computer. I bet you they could use this to unlock the mysteries of the universe. And he's like, yeah, most people just watch cat videos on it though.
Well, there's so many of those cat videos. I'm sure they're on all the social media, but on Instagram where it says like, play this sound and your cat will come running, and it'll be like kittens meowing, and all three of my cats are girls, and they absolutely just go nuts trying to find where that sound's coming from.
I thought you were gonna tell me they just don't care.
Oh no.
They do care.
They do care a lot.
They care a lot.
Like unhealthy amounts of care. All right, I'm going to take away Mr. Randolph's banner now and give
the Bruce banner.
Give Gene some screen time for donating his $20 last week to the down payment on my hospital bill,
which we're all still hoping's coming. Got to get those viral clicks somehow.
It's really funny because, I got 2 sheets of drywall hung during the stream.
Yep.
Was it 2? And then I hung all the rest of it the next day, in the course of about an hour and a half. But
so that was what, like 2 more?
3 in a small piece. But it was less hot because I had the door open and the fans on. I wasn't concentrating on more than one thing. I could just get in there, get it done.
And then get out.
And get out.
Okay, let's see. Video out.
And then I went back and put all the screws in that I missed. There's still at least 2 screws missing from when I built this garage. I would go and put the ones I needed on each panel, and then I'll go back and get those later.
Yep.
And through the years, I'd be like, oh my God, there's a screw missing from right there. And I just, have never gone back and put it in, but I kind of scanned the walls. And then that drywall was weird because typically you put 1 screw at each edge and then 2 at each point in the face. But that drywall had a URL on it. It's like, go and read this, it uses less screws or whatever. And it does. Instead of 2 places with 2 screws, it's 3 places with 1 screw, which is just weird to me because I've been hanging drywall since I was 10, so to break the rules all of a sudden, but
times are changing.
Came the realization that when I build the rest of that wall going up, I have to put 5/8 inch fire drywall all the way up there. At that point, I might rent a drywall lift.
Then you don't have to worry about storing it, right?
Right. Yeah, I just pay to rent it. Or I'll rent like a scissor lift and just make myself an attachment for the side of it to lift it up and mount drywall with construction adhesive. Well, sometimes they actually do that. I don't know if you're saying that because you know that, or if you were, coming up with a new idea. But the problem is if you ever have to take it off, it makes such a mess of the studs behind it. But it helps stop vibration, which cuts down on noise transmittance through the wall. Ooh, FBI, you are technically breaking the law right now. You are rebroadcasting copyrighted material.
I mean, it only matters if I play one of the episodes. These menus are up on YouTube for free for fair use. So
oh,
I'm still gonna do it. I'm just saying we're not there yet. You're getting ahead of yourself, buddy.
Well, and then it comes down to like somebody important would have to tune into this stream, and that's not gonna happen. So
Not
I guess
ever.
now I'm gonna have to like buckle in this week and make a new graphic and a new thumbnail.
Yep.
I mean, if you got any ideas on the thumbnail, I'd love to hear it. It'd be nice, to like have us in the thumbnail. Like
Yeah.
kind of like an odd couple thing.
That was my freeze frame.
Yeah, but it's tiny right now. That doesn't do me any good.
Oh, it's better. I don't look good in HD. You know what though? Look at first of all how badly set up this is. The DVD player goes into the VCR, and then the VCR is connected to the TV. So this is just acting as a RCA to component, not even composite, RF. I also only connected video so that we wouldn't accidentally get sound and get stricken with stuff. That being said, the picture on this is not too bad.
No, TV was fine. There was nothing wrong with the way TV looked.
I remember this being so much worse than it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if I can make it look even better by twisting this dial a little bit.
Adjusting the color a little.
Well, no, the fine tuning. People of this age, they don't know the hassle of, like you'd switch it to channel 3, which is a specific frequency, but like the TV would often be like modulated ever so slightly off. So then you start playing with the fine tuning wheel. So you push it in. Well, and if I do this, sorry, I think I might have automatic fine tuning turned on. So I'll show what happens. So you tune it out. So you go to channel 3. And it looks like this, and you don't get the color and stuff's distorted. But then you start playing with the fine tuning wheel up here, and as you play with it, it slowly, now there's some color coming in, and you twist it, and you keep going until you get the clearest image you possibly can, and it's just like a matter of taste.
And then the wind blows.
Yeah, and then the wind blows, and the cradle does fall. People are spoiled these days with their digital zeros and their ones, and
yeah, and the cables coming in and nothing sticking up in the air. But I'll tell you, it's really funny because my particular cable company that begins with a C and ends in Comcast, when we first got their high def service, we were still living in the RV at the time. And we had their high def service in there. We had high def TVs. I was working at Best Buy, so I had all of the top line Dynex brand TVs from Best Buy. And one day, just on a whim, I cranked the antenna up on the RV and switched over to antenna. The high def coming over the air was more crisp and clear than it was coming from Comcast.
More like Chromecast, am I right?
Crummycast. Shouldn't talk too bad about them. We're running through them right now.
It's like, all of a sudden you're down to single frame rates again.
Yeah. Oh, where'd my bandwidth go? They're like,
boy.
oh, talk bad about us, will you? Yeah. So I won't say who it was or where it was, but recently there was a conversation being had about a Amazon Echo device. Oh, I would never have one of those in my house. They listen to you all the time. As this person stood with an Apple iPhone in their hand.
That's different though, because they wanted one.
I'm like, you realize that thing is also listening to you all the time.
The funniest thing I ever heard was, keep in mind, your device doesn't start listening to you when you say something to it. That's when it starts responding.
Oh yeah. Like it doesn't listen. Well, I'm sorry, my mom's not back in here because she had that thought. Like she thought that the Echo device did not start listening until you said its name. And I'm like, well, no, it has to listen always because it has to hear its name. And she's like, this thing's listening to me all the time. I'm like, absolutely. And she's like, well, I'm going to get rid of them then.
It's like, this thing's listening to me all the time, and the device itself goes, no, I'm not.
I only listen when you say my name.
And right now, separate, isolated incidents.
It's funny. Do you have Echo devices?
So we have a Fire Stick and a Fire TV. They're slightly different though in the fact that there's a button you have to push before it starts listening.
Right.
So that's it.
So I have a lot of them. I have one in my bathroom, which is weird, but it actually works out really well because we use it for listening to music in the shower. It's not in the shower. That would be a terrible idea. I mean, I knew I installed that electrical outlet in there for a reason, but
that's just in case you start to drift off. You just put your wet hand over it, wakes you right up.
Right. But we will be on the other side of the house, and then all of a sudden one of the devices, like we'll be in the family room, and the one in my bedroom will all of a sudden will go, I'm sorry, I don't understand that request or what, and like nobody's even near it.
That's creepy.
It's like, what? My wife's like, I hate that thing. But they're quite handy to have. So
I had a universal remote in a drawer and I couldn't remember why I had it. It's the universal remote that I programmed to work with this DVD recorder.
Nice.
I just looked down and it was like pushed up against the outside of the clear plastic. I'm like, oh, I wonder if I can program this to work with it. I'm like, I wonder if I already did.
Yeah, I used to have it was a 4-head VHS, not a 4-head, but four head.
This one is also a 4-head hi-fi stereo VHS with Omni.
Yeah, well, it was a VHS and a upscaling DVD player in the same unit. So it was actually a VHS player that had an HDMI output on it.
That's fancy.
But somebody that I knew needed a DVD player way more than I needed it, so I gave it to him. I do have a VHS around here somewhere because you just never know.
Yeah, I've got this one, and I'm presently on the lookout specifically for the look of it, for one that has wood grain on it, like an old school one. But I want to find one that has at least composite in, composite. So like AV plus left audio. It doesn't need to be stereo because obviously one speaker.
Right.
But I want it specifically just so it looks good with the TV.
Gotcha.
Because I got this guy. This guy here I bought this one brand new, $139 back when VHS and DVD were coexisting. I spent a lot of money on dying technology when I was young and my first job.
You need one of those, one of the top load VHS.
Oh yeah, that you put it in and then it like folds down into it.
Yeah, like
Duff says like a top loader. Yep.
Sanders said, sometimes I ask something in the living room and the bedroom answers. Yep. Had that happen.
The worst part is though that it's there's in instance it's like that the living room didn't answer, but the bedroom did. It's like quality difference on two identical items.
Well, and like I looked in to see if it was possible, and it's not apparently, but it needs to be possible. Like I have, and I forget what it's called. It's the Echo Flex, I think. It's just a small box like this that plugs directly onto the wall. And the speaker in it's terrible, but it does have a audio jack on it. So I have 3 of those, but I have one in here, right in the room with us here. I have one down further in the garage. And the main reason that I have the one in the garage, well, I used to have it so I could ask it what the temperature was. But no, it's because I use it to control my Spotify. And because like I might be working on something or whatever, and a song comes on that I don't like. So it's easier just to have it skip than to try to fumble with my phone with greasy hands. And plus now filming, it's also really convenient because I can be doing stuff with music on and then I can tell her to pause and then I can film what I need to film. But what I would like for it to have the ability is to be, how do I want to word this? So like, if I'm walking through the house, I want it to follow me. I mean, it knows I'm in the room. Like some type of a command. Like if I'm in my bedroom and I'm listening to music and I walk out to my family room, I should be able to give it just a quick command that immediately moves whatever I was doing in the bedroom out to the living room. I don't know. Maybe that's asking too much. Mitch said, "I need a VHS player. I have a bunch of tapes I need to convert." Thrift
I used
store.
to
Thrift
I used
store
to use
now.
this I used to use this exact setup to do VHS to DVD conversions.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing here is a DVD recorder that I got for $10, like I was saying at Value Village.
I have a DVD recorder around here somewhere too, but it's an old one. Really, what you need is a capture device, and then
Well, I have that because that's
take
what
it
this
digital.
camera is doing now.
Yeah.
It's got the HDMI. HDMI.
The HDMI.
The HDMI.
Oh.
Well, I guess I can go ahead and eject the disc out of this now that we know the setup works anyways. Other than the fact that I ordered the wrong thing for what I want to do, so
Nope, never been there before.
Oy, 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 oy.
I'm just gonna have to stay off of
Social media.
Social media for a couple of days.
So you're gonna go anti-social media.
Oh. Listen, I'm old school. There's no doubt about it. I've been around long enough that the way that I see things may not be the way that people see things today. But James can attest to the fact that I'm very open-minded, and I can also be friends with people who have a difference of opinion.
It's true.
But
I prefer cheeseburgers to bacon cheeseburgers, and he still tolerates me.
Yeah, it's hard, but when people spew stuff that's absolute ignorance, I have a really hard time keeping my mouth shut.
Is this about pineapple on pizza again, dude? Because I don't want to get into this fight again.
Pineapple on pizza.
Exactly. I don't want to get into this fight with you again.
So, well, no, I guess really in a nutshell is what I'm saying is if you want to be my friend, don't be stupid.
I guess what he's trying to say is if you want to be his lover, you got to get with his friends.
Do not be an idiot and we can be friends. And that's not even 100% true because I have some friends that are idiots. So
do they know that they're idiots or did they just find out from this live stream?
No, they don't know they're idiots.
And they won't know from this live.
Yeah, most idiots don't know that they're idiots. And the one guy that I know, and I know that I'm talking to you. Dude, shower and use some deodorant once in a while.
Sorry.
I don't think anybody that I know personally, I mean, other than my mom, watches this show. I guess I say that, but I mean, I know a lot of you guys personally, but outside of the 3D printing world, I don't think, people that I know locally in real life. No, I don't even know how to phrase that.
People that I like.
No, but I mean, people I go to church with or people I work with, they don't.
People I see in person regularly don't tune into this.
Yeah, I don't actually see too many people regularly. I don't leave my house very often. That whole social anxiety thing.
Well, then maybe you're saying nothing.
that's most of the 2 hours of this show is on me saying nothing.
I looked down and realized we had 20 minutes left to go, and I'm like, well, I'm taking apart this DVD player to find out why the RF on it doesn't work. Because you know what? This was built at a time where things are still relatively take apart.
That's right.
I have not disassembled this yet, but I'm going to that the 5 screws that I just removed they're all that's going to be required to get the top of this off to take a look on the inside.
And you need to disassemble. What you need to disassemble
my headset
is that headset.
Well, except for then I really can't hear or talk to anybody. It's so I guess that's what you're after.
We get like every third word out of you.
That's probably, I'm only a third of what I say is intelligent anyways. See, look at how easy that was to take apart.
Yeah, 2 on each side and 1 in the middle of the back.
Yep.
That was the good old days.
And there's the inside of it. That's the guts.
Yep, super, super simple.
So the issue will be from this box in here somewhere, and if I look, I can see that, I don't know if it's going to show up in camera, but the top one's bent. Like it's probably taken an impact at some point. Could you see that?
Is the one that's bent? Hang on. Is the one that's bent? Is it the out?
It's actually the in, but I'm taking it, since they're probably both attached to the same circuit board, I'm taking it as the fact that there may be damage to the board on the inside of here.
I was just gonna guess that somebody had a cable screwed in there and bumped it off the top of the TV. Oh, give me a second. I gotta go clear this cough.
Okay. I hope it's not coronavirus. Everybody's gone so quiet. Is it because the stream time is almost done? Is it because Glenn isn't fun? You guys can tell me. I know I'm fun, so.
I'm the king of fun. Are you okay back there? Yeah, I had to go get a tissue. I should have tissues here, but sometimes with all that coughing, I started taking generic of the Prevacid, because they're fairly certain that the cough is related to acid reflux. Acid reflux.
What have I told you about dropping acid on stream, dude?
I dropped it? Where is it?
I'm dropping antacid on screen.
Did it roll away?
We do have fun though. I
Charles
don't know
Schumann said, ever watch Just Rolled In? I don't even know what that is. I'm going to Google it.
I'm going to be willing to bet that it's a mechanics show detailing like stuff that just rolled into the shop. That's what my guess is going to be.
It's a YouTube.
It's a YouTube?
I searched Just Rolled In, and it says Just Rolled Out is operated by the YouTube channel Just Rolled In. Yeah, it's a random automotive and mechanic content. Is it any good? Is it worth, is it worth?
Is it worthwhile?
Is it worth checking out, or are you asking me because it's a train wreck?
Oh, there's lots of things in life that are train wreck and still worth checking out.
Well, they have merch, so they must be somebody.
I have merch.
I have merch too. It's just not available on the internet yet.
I have merch that is available on the internet. I should have actually shown that off today, but I'm not ready and I can't get to the keyboard at the moment. I got some new logos and they look pretty nifty.
They have 208,000 subscribers.
And all proceeds go towards getting me a new headset.
Yes, we're doing a giveaway through James's merch. So any merch that you buy, even the smallest amount of merch, gets you entered into the giveaway. And the giveaway is James gets to buy a new headset.
That's exactly right.
You win, but you don't get anything. James,
you win the knowledge of knowing that you're the reason I got a new headset.
Other people's train wrecks that come into the shop.
Yep.
So is it kind of like the customer customer states?
Yes, it's like that.
I
'Cause
like
I think
those.
I made my guess about what that channel was based on the fact that there is a Reddit that's Reddit. Dagnabbit. I put a little mark on it. It's not
It's
mint
fine.
condition anymore. There's a subreddit which it was just called rolled into the shop or whatever, and it's like customer complains about noise when turning wheel, and then you go underneath and it's like the shock's broken, the control arm's broken, the wheel's just flopping around.
Yeah, vibration when driving, and they come in and the front drive shaft's hanging off.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of live that life. So I'm gonna I'm gonna pick on, and I won't mention any names. The vehicle that was dropped off to me last week. It came to me for a no start condition, and it's a random no start condition. So random that I started the vehicle about 50 times without the problem.
Yeah. It was number 51 that finally did it.
Well, I mean, it was to the point where, like, it would break down on the side of the road, or it would leave him in a parking lot or whatever, and he would call for a ride, and then by the time that somebody got there to pick him up, it had started. Like, it was just so. The first thing I always check with that is battery cable connection.
Makes sense.
And so I popped the hood and I grabbed hold of the negative terminal first because it was there, and I could turn the terminal on the post of the battery. And so
that sounds fine.
They were those. Yeah, I just did the right thing and pretended like I didn't see that. They were those battery terminals that you buy to replace the factories, where you cut and strip the end of your battery cable and you put it underneath, and there's 2 bolts that bolt down and it clamps it in there. And then now you have a new battery terminal. Except for those have gotten so horribly built now that it was all deformed and stuff. Like it from tightening it up, it had just given up. They were terribly thin. So I kind of knew that was going to be an issue. So I went to double check everything, and I removed the negative terminal off the battery, and the wires just pulled right out of it. Like, and I'm like, oh yeah, that could absolutely be the problem, you know. And of course, they're made out of lead, so when you have a bad connection, they get hot, and when you get lead hot,
it soft.
Melts. It becomes liquefied. So I ended up I put new crimp terminals on the end of the battery cables, and ordered some military spec terminals for it, and got that all fixed up. But while I had it, like, this vehicle has been, how do we put this nicely?
Enjoyed?
Very much enjoyed.
Thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, it was 89? No, 98. 98. And it just had a like the front driver's side marker light was just kind of hanging out of it. And the first thing I noticed when I got in it was there was electrical tape over 2 of the lights on the dash. Not like they took the instrument panel apart and put the tape over the lights. It was stuck to the clear plastic that's in front of the instrument panel. And I thought, oh, it's got a check engine light, and they were tired of seeing it. Nope. It was the seatbelt light and the ABS light.
Oh.
But come to find out, the seatbelt itself must have been broken, and they replaced it, but they didn't replace it with the right one, so it didn't have the wires going into it. Like, they replaced it with a back seatbelt, or maybe even a passenger seat. I don't know, but like, so it didn't know. Mitch said, "Sounds cutting out." Never mind, it's me. But yeah, but I just kind of poked around at a bunch of things, and it's always funny to me when you get cars like that people, like, that light hanging out of the front, that marker light hanging, probably didn't bother the owner at all. It was driving me nuts. So like I just kind of went around and fixed just little piddly things. And then I noticed that the air conditioning compressor was cycling on and off, on and off, on and off. And he didn't say anything to me about the air conditioning, but hooked the gauges up, and sure enough, it was low on refrigerant. So slipped a little of that in there and fixed that up too. So some people don't care about automotive safety. Oh, who needs airbags? How many lives could they have saved? But yeah, it's definitely a vehicle that I could spend some more time with. And I said, you know, if I charged for automotive repair, that would be a cash cow. I could make some real dollars off of that one. But at least it wasn't the new R1234YF refrigerant. No, that stuff's flammable. That I really hope that they discontinue the use of that before it goes any further. No, it's bad enough. It's bad enough the whole still with the R12 and the 134. I have a couple, and expensive, yeah. Well, try buying R12. I have a couple of vehicles that are still R12 systems that have to get converted because I'm not buying R12.
Well, I had hoped reflowing the solder to the connections for the RF would fix it, but it didn't make a difference.
No cracks in the board or anything?
Not as far as I can see. The board is actually significantly more populated than I thought it was going to be, because usually the RF modulators on them aren't particularly complicated. But I just want to see if I can find out what channel it's supposed to be set to, because usually there's a thing that allows you to switch between 3 and 4, and there isn't one on this one.
Yeah, it's usually channel 3.
Just wondering, you know, what if it's something silly where it's like, oh, the TV needs to be set to like
channel
5.
Yeah, channel 15.
Yeah. Let's see.
R12 takes special licensing. Yeah, it does now because it creates holes in the ozone layer and it causes your hair to fall out. Yeah, I was gonna buy one of those automotive HVAC machines that, you know, you can recover the recovery systems. They're too expensive.
Oh, do you know what the problem is? According to this, the RF cable connector on this DVD recorder sends only signals of TV. You must connect a SCART cable or AV cables to watch signals from your DVD recorder.
Oh, so it's really just a pass-through.
Yeah, so that you can get TV on here, but the signal doesn't then get like passed back out.
Then why would they even put a coaxial out on it?
Well, because it's because it's still pass through, so like it'll still put your antenna.
So it passes through, so you could record off a TV.
Yeah.
And still watch TV on the TV, but then
yes,
to watch whatever you recorded, it would then have to go through the composite.
Yeah. Well, that solves that mystery.
I think I can remember. I think I remember some of that units that did that. I remember people bringing them back to Best Buy claiming they didn't work. So
can kind of understand why, because you know, if I'm well, I guess
holes in the ozone layer are absolutely needed because when it completely closes, we all die. Well, it's a known fact that R12 did not cause the holes in the ozone layer. That is all complete BS. The holes in the ozone layer was from all the hairspray in the 80s.
Story checks out. There was a lot of hairspray in the 80s.
I was an Aquanet user.
That explains it. The reason the ozone layer started to heal itself is because Glenn lost all his hair and stopped using Aquanet.
Absolutely. I bet if you check the timelines, it's about the right time. And shoulder pad production. The 80s were some good times.
I'm reinstalling the shielding around the RF modulator like a good technician. Usually if it's my own, I just don't care and leave it. For being honest.
I'm going to do the right thing and just pretend like I didn't see that.
Just got to make sure she's pushed in there because I don't want it coming loose in the when being moved around. The next time I plug it in, it just
Yeah.
puff the magic smoke.
If you let the magic smoke out, it's no good.
I do, as I see that it's now 8:28, I do realize I have to take off like right at 6:30 because I ordered food before we started the stream and promised my wife she wouldn't have to answer the door. So I scheduled it for 6:40, but they have shown up early before. Also, if I suddenly run off, it's because I'm trying to do the right thing.
Well, being that it's 6:28 then, you got anything that you want to plug?
Just my nose. It smells down here. I should have a new video out this week. It is all filmed and half edited. Ideally, it'll come out like at some point tomorrow, but I don't know for sure yet because it is a sponsored video, so I need sign off before I.
That's very coincidental because I also will have a video out this week that is half edited. No, in fairness, it's mostly edited. I just have to do the interview shots.
Like you do shots before you do your interviews?
Yes.
That makes sense.
I was actually I was in here tonight right before the stream doing some of the voiceover work. For those of you who don't know, I'm a voiceover actor. I was hired by Fun King Garage to talk over myself when you can't hear me in the video. But I have new microphones now, so videos going forward, you're going to hear every bit of what I have to say, even when I mumble things under my mouth. You know, I know we're out of time, but I want to touch on something because as a video creator, as a content creator, there's sometimes, and I know James has done this too, there's sometimes things that we do in the video that takes an excessive amount of time and nobody out there realizes or appreciates what we've done.
I never feel appreciated.
Well, no, because I mean, you and I have had this conversation, but like the RAV4 video, when I lowered my mom's car, the opening sequence of that, when I'm rolling the garage door up and the Fun King Garage logo is on there and rolls up with the door, that logo is not on my door. I mean, I now want it to be because it's cool. I did that all digitally post-production. And I mean, if you watch, you can tell that it's not perfect. But I worked for I spent probably 8 hours on figuring out how to do that and making it work and whatever. But then you never get a comment about it. Like, hey, that was really cool or what. And then you're like, maybe nobody noticed. Or when I say something that I think is absolutely hysterical in the video and nobody ever comments on it. And it's like, well, maybe I'm not funny, but I know I'm funny. I know I'm the funniest guy I know. So, yeah.
Would you say you're the king of fun?
I am the king of fun. That's
like, I did that video on my 486 restore and I spent a bunch of time and risked a copyright strike by having a section where the completed 486 gets beamed onto my desk.
Right.
And
I had to shoot it. That's the conversation you and I had.
Yeah. And nobody said anything. So.
Yep. And it takes so much time to do all of that.
And then I probably shouldn't have spent all the time on that. But then also I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. I like the way it turned out.
It enhances your skill.
Yep.
For another time. So, I'm just going to keep on keeping on. The end screens that I do, the walking away that I know people click out of, before they get there.
I've watched them all.
I see the analytics. The one, it was an early one where I fell. I expected that to get a lot of comments. It was done intentionally, but I legit fell. I didn't catch myself. It hurt. I hurt myself for people's entertainment and nobody even commented on it.
My favorite one so far is the one where you walk across the bridge and then you look down over the edge of the bridge and wave. You got the, because I can appreciate how much effort it must have been to get the camera set up to do that.
Oh yeah. We were, and that was the main camera, was my Sony, and then when I was looking over, that's the GoPro, but the GoPro was in the audio mod, so it wasn't even waterproof. And
Yeah.
I was terrified that it was going to get dropped in the water. But
Okay,
no.
I'm playing with fire, so I'm gonna have to be the guy that says we should probably wrap up.
Well, we should wrap up, and we were wrapping up. So James has got. He's always got to be the one that's so funny. So anyway, James has a video coming out this week. I will have a video coming out on Friday for the Garage channel. It's not a monumental, unfortunately. It's not the first time that the Cummins touched the frame or the first time the body came down, or it's just some little things that I had to do. But I think overall it's still an entertaining watch. There he came back to say goodbye. I should just not add him to the green room. Maybe I'll just leave him sitting in the green room.
Okay, so I know what the timing looks like. That was actually accidental. I was moving my mouse up, and the left, as it got to the corner, the left click hit the edge of the tripod.
That's what I did to you last week after the stream.
Closed the entire browser off in one shot. So print on.
But anyway, no, I was just recapping that you have a video coming out this week. I have a video coming out this week, so definitely watch for those. I want to say that my channel is growing. The Garage channel is growing just consistently, not huge and not fast, but consistently. And I appreciate each and every one of you who have subscribed. It does mean the world to me. So, and it would mean even more if you actually watched the videos. No, people are watching.
Don't do that.
It's all good. So, but otherwise, thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Even though Uncle Ron was really late, we say thanks to Uncle Ron for being here for the last, 5 minutes of the stream and whatever. James has got dinner coming. We're going to wrap it up. We love each and every one of you, and we'll do it again next week. And until next time, as always,